No, no, Ma. No, Ma. Buy Tuten. Buy the Tuten stock now. Yes, Ma. Tuten. Facial Tuten. Yes. Put it all on Facial Tuten. Do it live. Do it now, Ma. Now, Ma.
Live from the FantasyFootballShow.com studios.
It's the Fantasy Football Show.
Live! Monday through Friday, 8 p.m. Eastern.
Smitty is also live whenever. He's BTJ. What you gonna do?
Get lammed.
Ladies and gentlemen, we are here to discuss many things, one of which is a man named Facial Tuten, who we have continuously talked about over and over and over, and gotten things like, what? How could you like Facial Tuten over this guy, Smitty? How could you like him over this guy, Smitty? Well, word out of camp is that this kid has been impressing like crazy. That was a couple days ago, the day before that. Now he's turning heads, according to today's report. And then on top of that, we get this little Easter egg that's been hiding under our nose the entire time, that Jacksonville.com's Ryan, whatever his name is, reports that the Jaguars expect Chris Rodriguez's foot to be full go by training camp and to miss pretty much, if not all of mini camp because of a foot procedure that he had. So C-Rod, Crod, however you want to nickname him, is not going to be back until after minicamp. So Tuten's stock is not only going up, he's taking full control over this running back room. C-Rod probably has nearly zero chance of being the starter per se. Will he take 40%, 30% of the work? I hope so. I hope so. That's right, Husseini. We invented Facial Tuten on this channel. That is exactly correct. You know, there's not every day Captain Save a Smitty, can save, more than 4, 5, 6, 7 lives a minute. But sometimes we do what we can here on this channel. And Facial Tuten has been a lifesaver for a lot of people. And I will just tell you that there's gonna be a lot of negative Nancy still. The ADP won't skyrocket. It's gonna go up. This news that Rodriguez had a foot procedure, they're calling it a procedure, a foot, but it's very much under wraps. Very, very coy about announcing this. And he'll be full go by training camp. Not mini camp, training camp. Well, Chris Rodriguez, I hope you know how to get coffee, because this man would like a Frappuccino latte, venti style, every single morning. And you better bring that with, a box of chocolates, because you never know what this young man's going to get when he gets onto the field and runs for, he seems like he's going to be one of the most capable 100 total yard players, meaning that you don't know if Tuten's getting you 50, 60 rushing yards, but 65 receiving yards and a receiving touchdown. You don't know if he's getting you 125, a $125 on the ground and a rushing touchdown. You don't know if he's getting you 170 total yards or 155 rushing yards, a 170-yard rushing game. This man has the capability of those kinds of big play numbers. When we close our eyes and we picture a monster, when you say, what does the Chupacabra look like? It's a picture of Facial Tuten standing there cooking. Like truly, close your eyes and picture Chris Rodriguez. Is he getting you 175 yards on the ground in one individual game with a rushing touchdown? No. Could this guy get you 170? Yes, he could. I'm not saying this is something you expect. I'm saying close your eyes, picture that this is his biggest game. He's doing that kind of stuff on rare occasion. He's getting you 100 yards total on many occasions. He's getting you double-digit touchdowns. And ladies and gentlemen, this is me just assuming that Facial Tuten's going to get what ETN got, which is just a measly 61. We'll even call this 55% to 61% of the running back, total running back volume, receiving yards from running back, rushing yards. We only need this. I'm not even expecting more than 61. I'm not yet. You're going to get, but it's going to be a committee, Smitty. It's going to be a committee, Smitty. I'm hearing it from many different places, Smitty. I can't reveal where, but I'm hearing that it's going to be a committee, and we're scared of it. People telling you that the facial Tuten, can't deliver top 10 running back numbers on even a 61% running back share, they don't know ball. I would probably stop watching them immediately. I'd unsubscribe to them immediately because they're tainting your thinking. They're spoiling the milk. They're ruining the experience for you because this man brings the thunder. This man on 61% volume share is going to be a top 10 running back. And when I ranked him in my top 12 running backs as number 12 yesterday, I got a lot of panties and bunches in my chat, in my own chat, not in the comments later, from people that watch me on a regular basis. There were a lot of panties and bunches. A lot of people were upset because I had the balls to rank this guy as my top 12 running back. Well, I've got news for you, ladies and gentlemen.
Mars man.
I've got big news for you. This man's winning leagues. It's a matter of, do you want to watch him win a league in your league for another person, or do you want him to win a league for you? And BBQ just tuned in, and we are talking Chupacabras. When do we get Bigfoot and Chupacabra comps? Soon, my man. And BBQ, thank you for the $20 super chat. Alert. Man, I tell you, I don't even think Mars is respectable enough. I mean, do we move him to the Saturn board?
The Saturn men.
One small step for man.
He's on a shuttle to Mars.
I don't know. They both look fantastic.
Man.
This combo right here, this Bucky Gainwell combo is going to feed families.
Spinning aimlessly in
space. Is Tate on the Moon Man?
Moon Man. Dropping loads in outer space.
I don't know. We have room for like one more on the Moon Man list, one more
to Mars.
On the Mars Man list.
The Saturn men.
Maybe one. I don't want to crowd it. I like how it's pretty tamed right now. We're not just throwing everybody on there. Oh man, Tuten's gonna explode. He's gonna explode. All right. Thank you to whoever just bought a membership on the site right now. Who was that? Who was that? Who was that? Thank you. Appreciate you for buying that. Whoever, I don't think you put your name in there, but I appreciate you very much for buying the membership. Anybody wants to get the year-round content on thefantasyfootballshow.com, you're not going to find anything better than this, in my opinion. Not even close. The player pages, you pull up a player page like Bashal Tutens, it's got links to all the videos. Like today's video, this video right here, there'll be an article posted with the video of this live stream because it talks about Tuten on his player profile. Any articles, any outlooks, stats, week 1 projections, trade calculator, all quick stats, analytics, how to trade Bashal Tuten, how to trade for Bashal Tuten, little trade suggestion, cross position value chart, all of that on thefantasyfootballshow.com. All right, let's move on. We got more news to get to, but Tuten's going to, at least Mars this year. If you want to get on board, that's actually not okay because we're not going to let you. I won't even let you climb on this caboose as of tomorrow. You try and hang on to the caboose, we will literally bat your fingertips so you let go, fall off, and say, "Yeah, you should have been on it, Smitty." We're not letting you on the train. You're not getting on this train. We invented Bashal Tuten on this channel, and you won't be able to get on the train after today. We won't allow it.
Let him cook.
Not going to allow it. All right, Rodriguez. Thank you, Rodriguez, for the opportunity you're giving our boy Bashal Tuten. This right here is a picture of BTJ. Man.
He's BTJ. What you gonna do? He's BTJ. He's gonna
Looks fantastic, leaping up and grabbing this ball. I didn't even get a snapshot of the high point of this, but he's been real impressive lately. And he admitted the other day, and sometimes players tell us this stuff late. Sometimes they say it because they're just trying to make an excuse as to why they played badly the year prior. But BTJ says he was injured all year last year, and it was really hard for him to get in a groove. And it explains a lot, because if I told you, like, sit down, you're trying to logically break this down using deductive reasoning and intelligence, not knee-jerk reactions, right? Or getting in your feelings or PTSD. If I sat you down and I asked you this question, everybody please partake in this exercise. And I said, what's more likely, given how BTJ played an entire year, not a 3-game cherry-picking stretch of games where you're like, oh, in 1 month of football, in an entire rookie season, the man finished as the 4th best wide receiver, the 4th most productive wide receiver in football with 2 different quarterbacks. Yes, one was Mac Jones, where he got more target share than we've ever seen before. And I know T-Law and him struggled to connect, but if I said what's more likely, the reason he fell off the map last year because he got hurt, and he's saying that he was injured, and we didn't know that, but he says he was playing hurt all year long. What's more likely, that he tripped and fell into being number 4 overall on an entire season, or he was actually injured? I mean, answer that question logically. Use your brain. Don't use your heart or your upset feelings or your broken, shattered little heart. Use your intelligence, your brain, and your wisdom, and answer that question. There could be a little bit of a combination of the T-Law and him being hurt made him really play bad. You could say, I don't know, I'm worried about what the pecking order is going to be, but Parker Washington still is more than likely going to play at least from like a 50% type of angle, the 3rd wide receiver, the slot wide receiver role. So BTJ's not like going to the bench. Parker Washington, even with the incoming extension that he's probably going to get, is going to be more of a rotational player than BTJ would be. BTJ's not coming off the field. So there's a real chance that BTJ destroys expectation. And his ADP is so nice right now in fantasy football. He's one of my most drafted players in 2026, because BTJ goes right here. Hendy goes more in this, 5.1 territory. I just want to leave these bad boys on the screen. Look how good this team looks right here. BTJ is going to be going in this 6th round territory. So you're getting BTJ probably right around here right now. Does he fall? Sometimes, maybe. Does he go at 5.12? Sometimes, maybe. But really, it's going to be 6.1 to like 6.5. And that's one of my favorite picks. I'm pretty much hitting that probably 60% of the time right now in Underdog, which is maybe not advisable, but I don't care because that's how I roll. And this is one of my favorite drafted players this year. Keep in mind, we were taking him at 8 and 9 and 10 overall last year. And I know he failed us miserably, but are we overcorrecting as a fantasy football populace? The consensus is overcorrecting. And I'm relishing in the glory of this weird ADP. This is just weird. It's embarrassing. When I see someone value BTJ here, I'm embarrassed. Secondhand embarrassment for somebody else that thinks that this is where he belongs, that he can't earn this value. Even if he disappoints again, he earns this value. And I can't stop drafting him. I just can't, over and over and over. So anyway, BTJ's been tremendously impressing. This is coming from the Jacksonville Jaguars social media page. Oh, wow. They're just talking about ball all the time. And seeing Trevor Lawrence connect with him on big plays like this, I know they're in shorts, I get it, but this is what we've wanted to see. And we're hearing a lot of good news coming out of Jacksonville right now. This guy's also getting a ton of hype right now. And, it's time to start noticing a little bit. I'll admit this is a guy I've been waiting for kind of the nod before I get a little bit more emotionally attached to the idea of drafting Jonathan Brooks. But the truth is he continues to gain momentum. The truth is he's very young. The truth is I like Chuba Hubbard more probably in some ways, and I'm excited about what Jonathan Brooks could be maybe that Chuba Hubbard can't be, because he's never going to be an elite player. Chuba Hubbard's a good player. But Jonathan Brooks may get injured right away. So you got to be careful where you take him. What's his cost of entry? That really determines everything. If his hype continues to climb, guess what? He's going to be priced out of a reasonable spot. So this might be very short-lived to be consuming Jonathan Brooks shares. Do I keep doing it if it's the right price tag? Sure. What's the right price tag? I'll pull up his ADP right now on Underdog, promo code Smitty, where we'll draft tonight on Underdog using code Smitty. The link in the description is the link that will insert code Smitty for you. They'll match your first deposit 50% all the way up to $1,000 in bonus credit if you deposit, let's say $2,000. They'll give you $1,000 in bonus credit. You do $500, they'll give you $250 in bonus credit, and so on and so on. So use that link or code Smitty. The link is in the description of the video. It's easier to just use the link. And in fact, let me drop the link as well into the live chat, and I'll pin it real quick. And if you want to draft with us tonight, you got to hit this link. Sign up. Don't be late. Don't be late. We draft at, not 8, but we draft at midnight. So do it live. There's the link. Let me pin the link. Replace this link. Boom. 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 Hit it. Sign up. Jonathan Brooks says an ADP of, it's still pretty reasonable, 109, but running back 37. So you didn't have to draft him as a top 32 running back. But I think this news is going to increase his value. I would say he climbs all the way above Harvey or right around where Harvey is, which is at 85 overall, which is at running back 30. So that's still pretty good value. Would I rather have Harvey and Coleman together than Brooks? Yes, 100%. Will I want some Jonathan Brooks shares? Probably. But I just don't think I'm willing to go all in, but I'm willing to dabble for sure. And as you should too, especially an Underdog. If you don't want to trust him in a yearly league and his value keeps increasing, then I understand that. But I think it's fun to dabble in a player like that in best ball where you can just take him in the freaking, 105, 99 territory. Like, that doesn't cost you anything. And he'll probably, assuming he doesn't get hurt before week 1, still get you some value. This man right here, Cam Skattebo, hasn't just been like showing up. He's been incredible. And he looks incredibly healthy. And he took part in 11-on-11 reps for the first time since his season-ending injury, according to NBC Sports. But on top of that, just watching him play, he seems like he's near 100%. And a lot of people have said, "Hey, I'm a Twitter MD, and he can't recover. He'll never be the same, or he won't be the same this year." And I even said when the injury happened, we got to see if the injury was devastating, like the worst kind of injury, then he'll never be the same again. But there's a chance. We said this from day one. There's a chance that if everything went well and the injury was perfect and his recovery goes perfect, he could be back. He's young. And when we found out that his injury could have been better in terms of like the severity, it was like the best case it could have been. We knew that there was a chance he could be back. Maybe slow starting in week 1 or 2, first month of football, but it looks like maybe he won't be slow rolled out. And maybe they limit his carries a little bit, like in weeks 1, 2, 3, as they ease him in. But that doesn't mean that Scat can't punch in 2 touchdowns in the first 3 games on limited work. He can still do that. But Scat looks really good. He's breaking off long runs. Very excited about what Skattebo is going to be doing for you. And his ADP is a lot higher than Brooks. His ADP is around 43 overall at running back 19-20. I do still think that's creeping up to where almost I don't want to draft, him in every league, but I'm still dabbling for sure. This man right here, Travis Hunter, I think we got a super chat here. Thanks again, BBQ, for that $20 super chat. Young man, appreciate you very much. Axe dropping a $20 super chat, says, "What's up, Smitty? I'm always dialed in." Axe, appreciate the $20 super chat.
Super chat alert.
Let him cook.
Axe, appreciate you, my boy. Axe to the moon. Travis Hunter is still viewed as a cornerstone piece of offensively and dangerous downfield threat per multiple reports today, by the way. And all these people are punching the air that were out there cranking out this BS content that they just saw someone else doing it, so they just kept doing it themselves and making up stories like, yeah, he's gonna be, and even Schefter got involved in really kind of guiding this narrative that this kid was gonna be moved toward a cornerback. He's going to be a cornerback mostly, and he'll maybe dabble, probably not that much in offense. They're converting him to a full-time defensive back. This wide receiver stuff didn't work. Just a bunch of no ball knowers. Just no ball knowers spreading rumors about this kid who clapped back immediately. The team clapped back already, and now we're hearing all kinds of other buzz about him being such a dangerous downfield offensive threat. And then he comes into camp. Look at him. He's jacked. This guy is absolutely at it. I don't know, about 12, 10, 15 pounds of muscle. Like, remember how skinny this kid was? Look how jacked he is. This guy's ready for ball. And he's ready to prove everyone wrong. And the durability of playing both sides of the ball from people on their couch, like Couch Caleb over there in the chat right now. Couch Colin going, you can't play both sides of the ball. You'll get... Can I have another Twinkie, Margaret? You can't play both sides of the ball, Smitty. You're going to get injured. Let me recline my recliner real quickly. I heard a couple players say this is impossible. He did it in college, though, Caleb. Oh, yeah, Colin, he was actually a 60%, well, I think it was 71% in his final year, player on both sides of the football, Colin. Oh, well, yeah, but nobody could do it in the pros. But Colin, you just said he couldn't do it in the college game, and he did. Yeah, it's the college game. So you're going to keep making excuses and moving the goalposts every time he does what you say he's not going to do. This man is going to prove everyone wrong, and he's probably one of the most affordable players to go get and trade for in a dynasty league using a measly second-round pick, a couple third-round picks. Go get Travis Hunter. He will be a wide receiver in this league, and he'll be a damn good one, too. And he might be a reason that maybe the Jaguars, if things don't go as planned with BTJ, a reason why they trade him at some point during the season. If they sign P. Wash to an extension and then BTJ, gets nudged out a little bit of the spotlight, then they would maybe look to do something. This right here, Jaguars coach Liam Cohen said he's not sure if Travis Hunter will be full go or when he'll be a full go. Remember, he's still coming back from that knee injury. So that is the one cautionary stance here on him. So just keep that in mind right now. But I'm still super excited about him. He looks absolutely jacked. He's ready to go. He's been keeping in great shape. He's obviously really, really close. David Montgomery, this is one of the worst picks in fantasy this year. One of the most overdrafted players, playing behind an awful offensive line with probably the worst or second worst offensive coordinator in the league. Behind a quarterback that is rattled in CJ Stroud. This is going to be a Nico Collins offense. It's going to be, hey, Nico, get open. Hey, Nico, go downfield. Hey, Nico, catch this. Hey, Nico, catch that. David Montgomery, we just saw Woody Marks go in the tent about every other play last year. So guess what? Guess who's going to get injured by midseason if they use him like this report? NFL Network's Cameron Wolf reports that the Texans think David Montgomery is ready to be the potential 3-down back. Guess what? This man's on the decline. Like you go and get a player like Monty who's not fit to be an every down back anymore. This is a guy that should be in a rotation to a degree. He's pretty much like half a season away from where Kamara is right now. Kamara was a monster a year ago. Like, it's crazy talk. So don't avoid him. This right here, Patrick Mahomes, according to this athletic writer, Mahomes' knees reportedly look sharp, and he's going through 7-on-7 drills this offseason. He's been amazing. He looks fantastic. He's not 100%. We know that, but he can play at 100%, even not being 100%. Like, this is Mahomes, and it's a quarterback position. And, look, this is the guy that will do it. This is the one guy that if you're like, yeah, that's the guy that'll do it. That's the guy that's going to show up before everybody gets there, leave when everybody's already gone home. He's been rehabbing like a monster. We see him out there already doing Mahomes-like things. And you know as good as I do that at some point in week 1, 2, or 3, this man's going to scramble downfield for a 35-yard untouched run, and everyone's going to be holding their breath. Collinsworth is going to be crying, and he's going to be just weeping and just falling on the floor, just drooling all over the place. And they go, you look at this man. And Mahomes is going to rip off a 35-yard untouched run and then just go out of bounds, and he's going to jog out of bounds. and everyone's going to be like, wow. You know that one time and then in the first month or two, he's going to get popped and get right back up and get excited because he took a big hit, and everyone's going to hold their breath, and it's going to happen. This is one of the most athletic players in the National Football League. As much as people like to hate him, Mahomes is a top 3 QB in this league. Top 3 fantasy, maybe not this year, but he definitely can return to form. He was the top 1 to 2 overall quarterback when he went down last year with the ACL tear. So stop knocking Mahomes when you don't know what you're talking about. Emari Demercado is looking like the current number 2 running back in KC. This is something that you should be keeping an eye on if you have Kenneth Walker. It's not that it's, this isn't going to be something that maybe eventually it should change, but no one should be surprised by the early indications of a player like Jordan James remaining the team's number 2 in San Francisco as Kalen Black learns the offense, learns pass protection, not only in the NFL, but in the offense. It takes time. Jordan James was never going to not be the top guy if McCaffrey went down in the preseason. If Kenneth Walker goes down in the preseason, you're not going to have Emmett Johnson go in and start week 1. Like, that was never the plan and never the concept. It's that if Walker breaks down by midseason, you hope that Emmett Johnson's up to speed and he would be the number 2. So you just got to kind of play your cards right. You got to sometimes draft both of the backups. It just is what it is. Don't play risky games like drafting McCaffrey or drafting Walker or drafting Hampton if you can't go out and do the things that are the smart answers for those risky games, the smart moves that correspond with those risky moves. If you're going to go get Hampton, you need both backs. You at least need Keith Mitchell. If you're going to go get CMC, you need Jordan James and Kalen Black. Otherwise, don't play the Christian McCaffrey game. If you can't have Demercado and Emmett Johnson, it's understandable to just take a gamble on Emmett Johnson, but you want security at night, you might need all 3. You can't house all 3, then you probably shouldn't draft an injury-prone player like Kenneth Walker, who's got ceiling value of running back 5 to 7, 4 to 7, but also the floor value that's far beyond some players that, because of the injury concern. So you're going to have to make sure you go get Demercado. And if you want to sleep like a baby, you can sleep pretty well with them and Johnson. But, something happens early, we will possibly see a guy like Demercado, who's a very productive running back, get in there. But that could change. Casey Concepcion, according to The Athletic, Zach Jackson, reports are that rookie wide receiver Casey Concepcion and Denzel Boston have started taking full rotations with both the number 1 and number 2 offensive groups. This is great news. Look, Boston's looked pretty good, to be honest. But Casey Concepcion is the much better talent. He's dropped a lot of footballs, but if you go and review every one of them, majority of them are he's laying out for the ball. It's in his hands and he bobbles it. No one else is diving for these balls. So, he's kind of getting a bad rap right now for trying to catch the impossible. So keep tabs on this kid. He looks absolutely fantastic. Blitzen dropping a $20 super chat like a monster.
Super chat alert.
Honestly, thank God Blitzen dropped that. I needed a sip of my drink because I've been talking nonstop. I got lucky snatching Tuten. There's probably no show that talks as much as I do. Like, I get so many words out in an hour. Probably more than most shows get out in an hour and a half, 2 hours, by the way. I'm not proud of how chaotic this show gets. I'm damn proud of it because we cook up in this month. Blitzen, appreciate you. I got lucky snatching Tuten in Dynasty after the insane running back run I witnessed, hoping he pops. Bro, you've got yourself a Mars man extraordinaire.
He's on a shuttle to Mars.
Thank you, Blitzen. And he's a fantastic running back, too, especially if you're building like you said you got him in Dynasty. What round? I got snatching Dynasty after an insane run. What round did you get him in? Because if you took him like in the top of 3 or something, I'll be disappointed that you didn't use ADP to your advantage. All right. Let's see here. Smitty is like AI, bro. We run circles around AI. All right. Blitzen has a nice team in our Superflex league. I'd like to hear what you got, my boy. Appreciate you. All right, what else we got here? Brissett, we got a lot of news today. We're doing a waiver wire show tonight. We're doing week 1 early waiver wire show, number 1. We'll probably do 2, 3, 4 of them. Not 2. We'll do 3 or 4 pre-week 1 waiver wire shows, and I'll explain to you who's going to be added to this list now. Who could be the next, maybe, I don't want to say Puka Nacua, but like Kyren, Achane, Puka Nacua, there are players hiding that get picked up after week 1. I'm going to show you his mug in a second. I'm not saying that he's that guy. I'm saying he has the potential to be that guy. So we'll be talking about that in a second, and we'll give a little bit of a flash of what the waiver wire show is going to look like tonight, and we're kicking it off at midnight Eastern. So appreciate you all being there. Jacoby Brissett, both at minicamp, but neither of them are practicing. Okay, so yeah, Jacoby Brissett is not practicing, so it sounds like he's trying to pull the hold in. So you remember when, we haven't talked about hold-ins yet this year, but you remember how we talked about last year a lot that these players will show up, okay, they can't get fined anymore, so they circumvent the holdout situation by showing up and being like, oh, my hamstring, kind of like LeBron in a game, like just flopping. And Brissett is definitely holding in, it seems, right now. He wants to be right-sized. I don't blame him. They're asking this man to go out and lead a team to war, and they don't want to respect his future. They keep talking around him like he doesn't exist. They keep talking about their 3rd-round quarterback, and it doesn't sound like Brissett's their future when LaFleur and this incompetent offensive coordinator in Arizona, thank God he's not calling plays, Nathaniel Hackett, showed up. The first thing out of both their mouths was, we're not going to name a starting quarterback until August, which was a lie because LaFleur already named Brissett the starter recently, but thank God he did. But why did he say he wasn't? I'm just questioning LaFleur a lot right now. But I will say this is great news that Brissett's there. LaFleur brings a little bit of that Rams dynamic to this offense. He talks oftentimes about Devontae Adams and Puka Nacua, and that he's going to use MHJ as the Devontae Adams. He's going to use Wilson as the Puka Nacua. That's not to say that Wilson's going to be Puka Nacua. No one's saying that, but LaFleur's using the old players that he's coached to kind of, map out where these guys will be and kind of give you an idea of what kind of volume they might look at. You can't run an offense with Adams and Puka Nacua unless this man's out there throwing 70,000 times per game, because Beck or Minshew, and I like Minshew to win a game or two. Like if Minshew had to step in and start weeks 5 and 6, he might win one of the games. And you get excited, you watch it, he gets hurt in the 3rd game, and that's it. Like I like Minshew, but you can't do what LaFleur wants to do without Brissett being at the helm. And this is a guy that broke the NFL record in completions in a game last year. This is a guy that can throw for 450 yards. This is a guy that if he wanted to could throw for 500 yards in one single game. He's a gunslinger. And this is the one you want in the lineup so that you can get the most out of all the pass catchers, which includes Jeremiah Love. So, we have him holding in right now, apparently. I don't know if that'll change tomorrow or the next day. We'll keep tabs on it. But he showed up because he doesn't want to get fined. He's not getting paid enough to be able to pay that. But he's got a little owie. And we'll see where that goes. And I can't blame him, to be honest with you. Anybody heard of this guy named Chris Rodriguez? I forgot he was in the league. Pardon me, I forgot you were there. You may go now. Where's Bashal the Facial Tuten? Where's he at? Where's the Tootmeister? Who wants to toot? I want to toot, so we're going to toot. We invented Bashal Tuten. We invented him.
Cook.
All right. Whose wives are mad at me today? Because the last handful of shows, there's been at least 1 or 2 of people have said, man, wife's tired of hearing you scream. My wife's tired of hearing. I've had a couple, hey, my wife likes the show. But whose wives do I have to do a standing ovation for today so we can keep people watching the show on a daily basis? Let's hear it. You know, it seems like maybe we got to get a list together, all the misses, and just do a round of applause, about 2 minutes worth, little segment each day. All right, we got Mrs. Miller. Is Miss Miller still out there? Miss Miller.
Mashed potatoes. Yeah, buddy.
Who are we pissing off today? All right. I think we've covered everything. Danny with a $5 super chat. Danny, sorry about the wait. Rate my PPR keeper league lineup. May, Genty, Chase Brown, JSN, Jetta's, Neighbors, Loveland. What do you want, a cookie? This is a. I would give it a 10 out of 10, but I don't give 10s out of 10s. Not to mention you're playing with probably a 10 grandma league in a nursing home where 3 of them are asleep and have been for weeks, and you're lifting their eyelids, unlocking their phone if they even have a smartphone, and you're accepting trades for them. Danny, there's no other explanation for this. What do you want, a 10? Give me a 10. Danny, that's a team that shouldn't exist.
Let's go. Mashed potatoes. Yeah, buddy.
I mean, he's literally walking up to Edna, and she's sitting there sleeping in her chair. They move her legs every 3 or 4 days to get circulation, and Danny walks up and just unlocks Edna's phone, accepts the trade, and goes, look, I got JJ all of a sudden. Like, what are we doing? Edna hasn't been awake. She's accepted it through email. It still says that Edna hasn't been active in weeks in the sleeper activity little meter. But anyway, Danny, appreciate you. Your team looks fantastic. What can I say? You know, what are you going to do? Neighbors, and like, who's going to take Neighbors right now at the risk? I mean, it's a fantastic team. Let it ride. Let it do its thing. JJ and JSN, Chase Brown, Genty. I wouldn't touch it. I wouldn't touch a single thing unless this is a dynasty. It's a keeper league. Unless you can trade like picks or something, but it's keeper, not dynasty. So I don't even know how that looks. But this is a fantastic team. I think you should probably change your password, log out, and just let that team ride instead of meddling with it. You might send the wrong offer or something and destroy it because you're so bored. Nice team though, very nice team. Okay, what do we got here? Phone lines are open.
Call into the show. Call into the show.
Yeah, I think that's all the news. We have Brissett and DeMarcado. I'm pretty sure I went through it all. We got it all out. That's that. Okay, so we're going to talk about the waiver wire. The waiver wire show is tonight, week 1. I thought about doing the waiver wire or fantasy football court, which, by the way, everyone's stealing our fantasy football court. Like, it's embarrassing. Everyone's fantasy football court. We do fantasy football court now. We do fantasy football court now. No, we do fantasy football court. Like, people steal everything we do. They just can't handle it. They can't create their own stuff. They steal everything we do. I see it all over. We're either going to do fantasy football court or we were going to do waiver wire. I think we could do court tonight, and I could do a upload for the waiver wire. I'm not necessarily going to pick what you guys choose, but you could sway me a little bit. So if you guys would rather have waiver wire week 1 or fantasy football court. But waiver wire week 1 is going to look a little something like this. You remember the thing.
Initiate full load drop.
So we'll talk about who could potentially be week 2's full load drop. Like where you walk out and you say, damn it, why didn't I draft him? And Keaton Mitchell won't be available in very sharp and shark-infested, waters type of leagues, but he's 30% available, in existing leagues that are out there on Sleeper, 25 to 30%. So people might say, oh, he's not out there, but sometimes benches are smaller than your 25-man league, 25 bench league, where you got 25 total players and like 17 bench spots. So it just really depends. And I can't just cater to the person that has 75 bench spots. I got to cater to everybody. Not to mention the gist of this show is to more so kind of tell you when to, not to let these guys get drafted. Like me putting Mitchell number 1 for now, that might change. Number 1 on the running back waiver wire video Oh, I guess I gotta open the phone lines here. My fault. Hold on a second. Let me see if I can open this in time to answer this call. Looks like I missed a few calls. I'm sorry, guys. Try dialing in one more time. I apologize. Phone lines are open. Try again, Clayton. Try again, Thornton. I'm sorry about that. And Hammer may have called. Oh, no, that was yesterday. Try calling it again. But the point of this show will mostly be like, okay, maybe they'll be available, maybe they won't. But the point is, Steve, draft Mitchell. I'm trying to tell you Mitchell's going to be that full low drop player if he is available. So there's that, that you got to think about. Who here wants waiver wire? Who here wants fantasy court? We're going to do either one. We're going to do both of them eventually. Like the next day, I'll probably do fantasy football court if we don't do waiver wire. Waiver wire could definitely be live. I think live waiver wire is fun. I think, but what I was going to show you guys is who this could be the next, Kyron Williams, the next Puka Nacua type of player. The wide receiver that I think people need to keep an eye on. I don't know where I'm going to rank him on this list, but Cyrus Allen in KC, we need to monitor this kid. I don't know if he'll be here, or here, but Cyrus Allen is definitely going to be a player that we talk about when we do the waiver wire show, if it is tonight. We got a fantasy football court. We got a waiver wire vote. I don't know. Phone lines are open. Sorry about whoever tried to call a second ago.
Call into the show.
Dial in. So we'll take your votes on who wants court, who wants. This is the Dynasty channel, right? No, Doug, it's not. The Rumble channel has all the shows on it. Arrogance with the super chat. Appreciate you. Miss Miller loves the fantasy football show now. I bet she does. Because we told, did you get her flowers or her Amazon gift yet? But Miss Miller.
Mashed potatoes! Yeah, buddy.
I mean, what other show gives the wife more attention than the watcher? Or vice versa. If the wife's watching and the husband's, not watching, vice versa. We have a couple of those situations too. But, yeah. So, Miss Arrogance is definitely get more attention than Mr. Arrogance, which is great. This is great because it allows him to continue to watch. And we keep nudging him to get her gifts. Like, hey, what kind of Amazon allowance does she have this month? Fantasy court, says Luis. I could always create the waiver wire show pre-recorded, upload it tomorrow, like at noon or in the morning or whatever. So we could definitely have the waiver wire show. Maybe I will do the waiver wire pre-recorded just because it'll be a little chaotic. Maybe the pre-week one. So maybe we'll do fantasy football court tonight, and then we'll do a waiver. I'll do a pre-recorded waiver wire upload, a live premiere where it releases live on YouTube, and I'm in the chat live, kind of like live programming would release a show. So I'll be in the live chat. So we'll probably do it that way. So we'll do waiver wire tomorrow, and I may even do it live at like noon, but probably will pre-record it. And tonight we will do fantasy football court.
It's time for fantasy football. Court.
So that'll be tonight. The thing that everybody copies us on. One of the many things that everybody copies us on. All right. Phone lines are open. A couple phone calls, then we're out of here. Appreciate my super chatters.
Call into the show.
Thank you, Arrogance. Appreciate you dropping that super chat. Thank you, BBQ, for the 20. Thank you, Axe, for the 20. Thank you, Danny. Thank you, Blitzen, for the 20. Appreciate you all. Appreciate all my rumblers. Oh, by the way, we got a little bit of a celebration here. I'll tell you in a second. Caller, you're live. What's your name and where are you calling from? and I may have to switch my audio real quickly. Hold on one second, because yesterday it wasn't working. Let me switch it back to being good. Okay, I'm sorry. You're live. Who is this and where are you calling from?
Yeah, I'm Clayton from Idaho.
Clayton, what's up? You're live.
Yeah, I sorry about you're on the court, but I just wanted to get a lineup question if I could.
Mm-hmm. Go ahead.
Yeah, so it's a Superflex Dynasty League, and I have Caleb Williams, Jaden Daniels, Genty, Rome, Harrison, BTJ, and then as my 8th keeper, I kept Willis. Some guys have McConkey, Henderson, Schott, Moore, Kittle.
Mute yourself. I'll be right with you, pal.
Okay. I wonder if I should trade one of those guys.
So you have Genty, Rome, MHJ, BTJ, JD5, Caleb, Malik Willis. Who's your other running back?
Javonte.
Javonte. And you're wondering if
Williams.
And you're wondering if you should trade one of these starters or Willis or with Willis to get an upgrade?
No, I'd have to drop Willis and then trade like a 3rd rounder for another player. I'm just wondering if that's a smart move since I'm in Superflex.
I mean, it depends on what you're. I wouldn't drop Willis. Like, I would trade Willis.
Yeah, we can only keep 8.
So you can't trade right now? You can't, like, trade Willis and something for, like, a upgrade and a pick? Like, if somebody's like, I'll keep Willis. Okay, try and shop him, because if it's super flex, maybe somebody won't want him, but you could try it.
Yeah.
I would say, like, so you're keeping how many?
8.
Okay. So JD5, Caleb, that's 2, Genty 3, BTJ 4, 5, 6, 7, and then who's your other ones that I'm missing on the board that you might keep over Willis? I got Genty, Javonte, Rome, MHJ, BTJ. That's all I got on the board. Sorry.
Javonte Williams, Rome, MJ. Yeah, you have the 8 on the board.
So then why can't you just? I don't understand what you're just trying to see if you should trade.
So I'd have to drop Willis or trade him, and then try to get another player. Is Willis a good Superflex keeper?
Yeah, I mean he is, but like I mean that's such a vague question. Would I trade like Willis and Javonte for a running back upgrade? Sure would. Would I trade Willis and MHJ for a wide receiver upgrade? Absolutely. Willis and Rome for a wide receiver upgrade? Absolutely. Willis and BTJ. I kind of don't think you want to trade BTJ because people won't value him enough. So I would just keep BTJ. But yeah, of course I would do it. I think
in my league, nobody wants Rome, BTJ, or Marvin Harrison. So I'm just thinking about, keeping them and hoping one of them breaks out.
So the Love has not been drafted yet, or has he? Is he on a team?
He's on another team.
Okay. So, and I don't.
I mean, he's going to be the first pick.
Okay. So I'm trying to get that trade that pick up to draft Love. As far as like what would be an upgrade to throw Willis in to get Javonte sent packing for that player, I think you could say James Cook, obviously, Chase Brown, Walker. These are all players that I think are worth throwing Willis at to upgrade because you're going to cut him maybe anyway, or I don't know if you got another player you can keep. I think probably hard to get Hampton. You could maybe throw something else in to get Hampton, but if you're going wide receiver, Pickens is a pretty good buy low to a degree. So Pickens, Nico Collins is a great buy low. So all these players, I would potentially throw Willis in to upgrade one of these guys. So that's what I would focus on.
What would be a pick with Willis to get Hampton? I think that would be a good trade. I have 3 second rounders, but I don't have a first.
Javonte. So Willis in a second rounder for Hampton would be very, very understandable. So like I could do that.
Okay.
Say, hey, I'll give you because is Hampton going to last to your second round pick? Like if he was thrown in, no. So he would definitely yeah, so would I give up Willis and a second round pick for Hampton? Absolutely. Would I throw Javonte in? It depends if you've got another keeper you haven't told me about. Like, let's say you have.
I don't.
Okay. Or if you can get one from him that he's going to cut anyway, and you're like, damn, that's actually a pretty good keeper. Like, let's say Parker Washington or something. So now all of a sudden you're throwing Javonte in for Parker Washington to get the Hampton deal done. But yeah, I don't, Willis and Caleb together for a better quarterback potentially. I don't know how much you love Caleb. Maybe you don't want to get rid of Caleb. But if I could upgrade Caleb into a top like 3 or 4 quarterback, I would do, because I'd throw Willis in. I definitely am keeping 2 quarterbacks. I'm not like doing anything wild or crazy, like getting rid of both of them. But Willis is expendable, but he's also nice to keep. Like, your team's very, very good. But am I trying to upgrade Javonte or MHJ or Rome? I know you say no one's trading for him, but someone might trade for him in a complex 2-for-1 deal, or a 3-for-1 deal, or a pick, Rome, a pick, and Willis for one monster.
Yeah. Appreciate that, man.
All right, bro.
Thanks, Smitty.
Later. All right. Any other phone calls before we get out of here? The guy that called in, I think he said, somebody said his phone died. Who will court be on? I'm not sure yet. Same with Kyron, but fine with keeping them. I don't know what you're saying, AMC. All right, guys. I'll see you at midnight Eastern. Fantasy Football Court. We'll be doing it live.
It's time for fantasy football. Court.
Be ready. Be there. Be square. I'll be having people call in if they want to defend a side, prosecute a side, be a character witness. See you all at midnight Eastern. Thank you to my super chatters. Thank you, BBQ. Thank you, Axe. Thank you, Blitzen. Thank you, Danny. Thank you, Arrogance. Thank you all for the amazing. Oh, and by the way, I said I was going to talk about this, and then I didn't. I don't know if you guys saw, but we hit 38K subscribers. So that means behind me, we are going to replace the signs. So we got to find the 8. Off you go. On you go. Congratulations.
Let him cook.
Almost spilled my drink all over my desk. That was close. See you all tonight at midnight Eastern. Live Monday through Friday, 8 p.m. Eastern, almost every single Monday through Friday. Live almost whenever big news breaks, and live almost every single midnight Eastern. That's 3 shows. See me dropping a super chat. See me says he's ready for court. See you all at midnight Eastern. Don't be late. Don't be late to court.
Wanted. The top most wanted outlaws. Wanted. The top most wanted outlaws. These outlaws are on the run because they're wanted. Dead or alive.
Can I just ask you one thing? Can we do karate in the garage?